Hey there, it's the One Boom, and we're back to the original webcam angle, and I don't know if I like it as much, but it definitely fits the purpose of this video, which is to talk directly to my audience, more specifically my younger audience. Now, I'm not trying to pretend to be an old man, I'm only 19, but from the ages of, I would say, 13 to 19, I have learned a lot, and I'd like to share a little bit of that with you guys. When I was around age 12, I got really into online games and online forums and social media when I was around 13, and I loved every bit of it. It took up a lot of my time. It was definitely one of my most fond memories of my childhood, was just like learning the internet. It was interesting because I had never really done anything like that before. I just had an email address I used to talk to my friends. But something happened on the internet, and this is something that a lot of people deal with. I learned that I could be whatever I wanted. And I feel like a lot of kids realize this, that they can be whatever the hell they want on the internet. In fact, it's probably one of the only things when you're a kid you have control over, is how you're seen and perceived on the internet. You can tell bold-faced lies for attention, you can tell people whatever you want. It doesn't have to be true, and once you realize that, you can kind of become whoever you want to be online. It's not just kids that do this, but when we become older, we start to become self-aware. We start to learn that people can see us, and we start to have opinions and standards for ourselves. It's why when you're a teenager, you're very self-conscious. It's that self-awareness part of your brain turning on, and it screams through all of your adolescence. It fucking screams. It still screams for me. But what I noticed from looking at things like Tumblr and Twitter, looking at my comment section, my stream chat, different forums I used to be a part of, I feel like everybody at a certain age lies on the internet. They hide because, again, you have like so little control over your life when you're young. You have so little like authority over yourself that when you're on the internet, you kind of take advantage of the fact that, again, nobody knows who you are. And you can start a relationship based on lies. You can start a friendship based in lies. You can start whatever, well, I guess a friendship isn't a relationship, but I mean, you can do whatever you want completely based on lies and deceit. You can lie to get the attention that you want. You can lie to get the exact effect that you want from somebody, the exact thing. And because when you start going through adolescence, and you start going through those years, you feel self-conscious, you feel self-aware, you feel vulnerable. You realize that, you know, mommy and daddy don't just keep you safe, they also tell you what to do all of the time. Not all of us have mommies and daddies. I know a couple of my friends that don't, so I'm not trying to be insensitive, but you know, you have guardians in your life. No matter, most of you that are watching this YouTube video have guardians in your life, and you realize they don't just tell you what you can and can't eat and what you can and can't watch, they kind of control your life. On the internet, however, they don't control your life. You can, again, be whoever you want. One of the things when I first met my girlfriend online, I had just turned 15. And when I met her, I think I fed her so much bullshit to get sympathy, to get nice guy points, all these horseshit stories about my childhood. You know, some were true, but and the important ones were true, but like most of them were just garbage. Like a lot of them were garbage. I'd pretend to be offended, I would pretend to be sensitive, so that she would have sympathy for me. And now that her and I are older, we both admit that we kind of did that. And we both admit that, yeah, it was cringy, but then, you know, we became really good friends, and now we don't care about that shit. When you're a kid, you feel so uncomfortable in your skin, like, who the fuck would want to get to know me? Of course, you get people that are super obsessed with themselves, and they think everybody would like to get to know them. And maybe sometimes they have lives that are really worth being proud of, but not every child has a life to be proud of. What exactly am I saying in this video? Am I telling you guys not to lie on the internet? No, you're going to lie. And you're going to deceive people, and you're going to try to get the reactions that you want. And you're going to try to manipulate people to give you sympathy, to give you whatever you think you require. And it makes you feel a little bit powerful. It makes you feel like you actually have agency over your life. But I guess what I'm saying is, feel comfortable in your own skin. You're born into your own skin. You're born into a consciousness that's constantly evolving. You're learning new things, you're liking new things, you're disliking new things. Be comfortable with that. I made a video a long time ago called Confidence, and confidence is not a matter of deceiving yourself. It's a matter of accepting yourself. I think lying on the internet Though sometimes it comes from a more manipulative standpoint, I think it mostly comes from just a lack of confidence. You have to be able to look at yourself physically, you have to look at your behaviors, your personality in a way that's not just positive, in a way that's honest, that you're a person. And everybody feels the way you do. You're not special. When I was around 14, I had this realization that I wasn't special. And it wasn't that that I wasn't interesting or important to anybody. It was that the things I was going through, the emotions I was feeling, are not specific to me. Everybody feels them. They have to go through them. And it was a really difficult thing for me to go through because I didn't want to be the thing, I didn't want to be like everyone else. I was special, I was important, these feelings are strange, and no, they weren't. It was self-realization, it was self-awareness, and it was also a little bit of, I don't know, I guess I should say regret for the things I had done on the internet. And I still have regret for things I did on the internet when I was 15, 16, even stuff I did on this channel. I've never all out lied on this channel. I've never really bent the truth too much on this channel, I don't think. But I don't know, there's some things I just wish I didn't say, or I wish I didn't act like, and there's certain things I wish I would have handled better. But I digress. You're young. You feel uncomfortable. You want things. You want to know what it's like to be a person. What it's like to be somebody with a personality and somebody that has experience and has standards for themselves and other people. And you want to know what that feels like. And the internet is a great place, can be a great place to feel that out. Just make sure you're being as honest as possible. Just make sure you're not lying for sympathy, lying to make people proud of you. Make sure you're not deceiving. Make sure you're not manipulating people. If you're old enough to know how to do that online, then you're old enough to know that it's not okay. And I doubt many of you feel good about it. I didn't feel good about it. And I still cringe when I think of the fact that I did it. You don't need to manufacture problems. You don't need to manufacture drama. You don't need to manufacture relationships to be perceived a certain way so that people see you a certain way. Yes, it gives you agency, but it's not honest agency. It's not real. And you start kind of getting to this point where you're subduing real things. You're making the real things feel less important because you've blurred the lines between the things you say that are real and the things you say that are not real. You know what I mean? If you want the real things to feel real, if you want to not just go through the motions, then don't lie. Don't manufacture this fake persona. Otherwise, you will spend your whole life going through the motions, not knowing what the hell's going on, not being able to distinguish from real feelings or feelings you fabricated on the internet. It's a real thing. I'm sorry. You can find articles about it. I'm sure, probably. You can find articles on everything. But this is mostly from my experience. So I'm not telling you what to do. I guess if I'm telling you anything is to be comfortable with who you are. And learn that everybody feels just as self-conscious, especially in your own age group. If you're around, ages from 14, 20 to 30, actually, people are just as self-conscious as you are, just as self-aware as you are. Well, not many people are, I guess, some people should be more self-aware, some people probably should be less hard on themselves, but what I'm saying is that we all are people, and we aren't perfect. Nobody looks at yourself as badly as you do. When you look in the mirror and you don't like how you look, when you look into a webcam and don't like how you look, you're being harder on yourself than anybody else is going to be. But you need to understand that you are a human. You are a creature, okay? We all go through these things. We happen to be the creatures that have the intelligence to deal with it, to go through it, to not just push back thoughts and push back our regrets, to put them right out in front of us and deal with them. Think about them long and hard, and the ability to forgive yourself for them. And I'm not attacking anybody in this video. I don't really even have a specific person in mind that I'm mentioning here. I'm literally just talking from experience. This is something that I've wanted to talk about, something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. I guess what I'm saying is I'm not going to be able to change your opinion about your life, or change the way you live your life, or change the way you perceive yourself, or just apply confidence to you with one video. But hopefully you understand that regardless of who you are or how you behave, if you're a young person going through hard times or emotional confusion, I'm here for you. I have your back. And at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for, is that people have our backs. And to let them know that we are not going to be as hard on them as they are on themselves. So So be a good friend, be a good person, and I guess I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.